Welcome to Sharon Local History. This is part 2 of the streetcar line in Sharon. Here I will tell you a little bit more about the end of the street line. I will be using a mix of photographs. We don't have that many from Sharon, probably about 5 or 6 that I included, and you can see them labeled as Sharon. Disaster struck the Blue Hill Street Railway shortly before 7 o'clock in the evening Sunday, February 21st, 1909, when the Canton Junction car house was destroyed by fire. Every car in the barn, numbering 16 open and 5 closed cars, was lost. The only equipment not burned were 6 double-track closed cars of the 34 to 46 series out on the line at the time of the blaze, and some were cars which were stored out of doors. 2 open cars, one 10-bench and one 12-bench of the Norwood, Canton and Sharon were also burned. To replace destroyed cars, Blue Hill placed an order with the Wasson Manufacturing Company in Springfield, Massachusetts. All were equipped with GE80 motors, K11 controllers and handbrakes. The passenger cars and the work car had standard trucks at first, but were later replaced by tail trucks. Foreign cars were frequently seen on the Blue Hill line, particularly between Mattapan and Blue Hill Station, conveying special parties to or from the Blue Hill Reservation. Boston Elevated and Bay State specials occasionally ran through to Sharon on the Norwood, Canton and Sharon line. After the car house was destroyed in 1909, it was decided to build a new car house at Cobb's Corner, where Canton, Sharon and Stoughton meet. While the new building was under construction, Blue Hill cars were serviced at the Norwood, Canton and Sharon small barn in Sharon. Since the operation of the Norwood, Canton and Sharon were so intimately connected with those of Blue Hills, some mention must be made of the former's last years. The NC&S, Norwood, Canton and Sharon properties were sold to a Fall River junk dealer, one William J. O'Connor, in 1917, and he announced plans to scrap both the Norwood and Cobb's Corner Sharon Heights lines. However, O'Connor ran into trouble when residents of Sharon demanded that he post a $50,000 bond to furnish a state highway between Canton and Sharon to take the place of the street railway they were about to lose. This was too much for the Fall River man, and he forfeited his deposit on the purchase price, the NC&S reverting to its previous owners. Then in March 1918, as previously stated, the Public Service Commission condemned the NC&S trackage between Norwood Center and the Norwood Canton line. This forced the suspension of service between Norwood and Canton, and operation of the Cobb's Corner Sharon Heights route was discontinued at the same time. Later in that same month, the NC&S was again sold, this time to the Dominion Wrecking Company of Canada. This firm immediately tore up the Norwood to Canton rails, but when the wreckers moved into Sharon, they ran into trouble. The local constabulary forced a halt to dismantling operations so as to give the town opportunity to buy the line. As it turned out, the town of Sharon didn't purchase the property, but one of its selectmen, Frederick A. Prince, did. He paid $10,000 for the 3.04 miles of track from East Sharon to Sharon Heights and Lake Massapequa, and also obtained one passenger car and one snowplow in the deal. Prince reorganized the NC&S under the name of the Sharon Street Railway and sold shares of stock to townspeople. The town itself voted a tax of $1 on each 1,000 of valuation to raise money for the cost of rehabilitating the line. Many residents gave freely of their spare time to work on the railroad, and on August 1st, 1919, the grand reopening of the line took place. The town was in gala array for the momentous occasion, and the entire length of the line from Cobb's Corner to Sharon Heights was illuminated with red lights. The first car was in charge of William Anderson, motorman, and Charles Harding, conductor, both veteran employees of the Blue Hill Street Railway. On the following day, regular service on an hourly schedule commenced between Cobb's Corner and Sharon Heights. Prince intended to extend service from Sharon Heights to Lake Massapequa, and it was also his plan to run through cars from Sharon to Canton Junction, but these plans were never carried out. Power was purchased from the Blue Hill Street Railway, and George Spaulding, receiver of the Blue Hills, served as superintendent of the Sharon Street Railway. The line had two 6-cent fare zones, and from Cobb's Corner to Sharon Square, and the second from Sharon Square to Sharon Heights. During the 5 months from August 1st to December 31st, the Sharon Street Railway wound up with a deficit of 1,077.01. This was offset by non-operating income of 3.89, and the town of Sharon came through with 1,373.12 as a contribution. The 300 surplus thus produced was used to pay liability insurance premiums in advance. The same storm which tied up the Blue Hills also closed down the Sharon Street Railway. Service was never resumed, and the tracks were torn up after formal abandonment of the line took place in September 1920. Without power from Blue Hill, it was impossible to operate. Prince salvaged much of his investment from the sale of the rails and overhead as scrap. So this is the end. Hope you enjoyed this video, and please feel free to subscribe to our channel and watch for more videos. Thank you.